Yo, I'm Bob. Into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Going to be opening another action figure from Best Action, the Loyal Subjects line of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures. We took a look at Krang and his Bubble Walker. And today, I'm going to be unboxing Krang with sAndroidBody. So I hear this one has interchangeable hands, because he could replace his hands with all sorts of weaponry. That reminds me of the 5-inch Playmates version. The taller one, I got that one first as a kid. That one didn't have any, replaceable hands or anything. But can't wait to see what this one is like. As I've said in other videos, there's just no way for me to do the NECA line at this point. I don't think they've released too much in terms of the cartoon accurate action figures and things like that. I wish I could have gotten on board with that line though, because I would imagine it's a fantastic line. Maybe one of these days I'll try to find a couple of them online. I don't know though. I'm fine with stuff like this. Let's see if I can't get the tape off the side here. There we go. So he's got a lid on him too. That's good, because I don't want anything to fall out of there. But once you take the lid off, I think all the parts are gonna just come tumbling out of there. All right. Not sure how much you're going to be able to see in the tray, because the sun is out, and I hear that causes a glare. All right, so here he is. It's a pretty big tray there. All right, so I'm going to pause this, break him out of his figure tray, and we'll get a closer look at Krang and his sAndroidBody. Back in the blink of an eye. All right, so first I figured we'd take a look at the Krang figure included. He looks a little bigger than Krang with Bubble Walker. Looks like a bigger brain to me, just a little bit. All right. So in order to place Krang in his body, we're going to remove his tentacles, because you have to do that. Just like, had to do that to get him placed in his Bubble Walker. I'm going to grab his big boy body real quick. So in order to place him in the body, you just kind of flip him up and back like that. Now there are already, by the looks of things, little tentacles that they've grafted into the stomach cavity for Krang. So yeah, it looks like the tentacles are grasping the control mechanisms there for his body. One thing I'm not used to is the absence of a little, window for Krang. I guess maybe in the cartoon, I don't know that for sure, because there's no audio description to the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. I don't know whether or not there was actually a window protecting Krang, like a glass that would bar him from the outside world, because there wasn't any in the packaging. That's okay though. Maybe he doesn't need it. But yeah, he sits in the stomach cavity just fine. It's a bigger action figure too. I think he's like 8 inches maybe. And here he is from the back. He's got all kinds of gears, and looks like a bit of venting there in the back. I guess an exhaust port or something like that for him. Yeah, because it is an Android. Mine is a little loose in the left knee, which is kind of a bummer. But I mean, it's not wobbly to the point that he's gonna fall over. He's a little loose in his right arm too. So yeah, the hands that he's got right now, he's got open hands, which remind me of the Playmates version of Krang. I think it was the 12-inch version. He had the open hands. It's the one I'm most familiar with. So they gave Krang all kinds of interchangeable weaponry. Because in the cartoon, he could replace his hands with all sorts of weaponry when he needed to fight. So I don't know if we ever saw these in the cartoon or not, but I love them. He's got 2 laser blasters that you can attach on the ends of his arms. So you can replace his hands with 2 blasters here, which I love. I've always liked seeing Krang wielding various types of firepower. So yeah, if he wants to blast the turtles, he can. Make sure he's centered here. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's such a cool addition to his arsenal there. Love the blasters. All right. So they also gave him a drill attachment. So I have that on his left arm. It's a really cool drill. And then he has an axe attached to his right. So there we go. Yeah, he's all... If he needs to do some close quarters combat, if he can't rely on his blasters, he can go for the axe and the drill there. We might have seen the drill in the cartoon. We might have seen the axe too. Like I said, no audio description. I don't know if he ever had his arms replaced with blasters. That would have been a really cool couple of weapons for him to use in the cartoon, though. Maybe he did it in the video games. Alright, so the final weapon attachment, of course, he's got this katana that you can fit onto either one of his arms. So if he needs to duel Leonardo, he can go for some sword play if he needs to. And of course, he's got fisted hands too. I've got one fist attached. Do I really need to show both? I guess I could in a minute. Yeah, he's got a fisted left hand if he needs to throw a punch. He's got the sword attached to his right arm if he wants to go to Stabby Town. I think I give him a 10 out of 10 just because of all of the weapon attachments. I wish the 12-inch Playmates figure had come with all this stuff back in the day. I loved him, though. That was one of my favorite action figures. I remember getting Krang's AndroidBody like a week before Halloween in the early 90s. I had no idea he'd come out. My mom and I were at Target, and she just gets all excited, and she's like, you're never gonna guess what I'm seeing here on the shelf. It's Krang's AndroidBody, and I told you whenever I'd find him, I'd nab him for you. And so, yeah, it was one of the coolest moments, I think, of being a kid, just happening upon Krang on a Sunday afternoon in a Target in Texarkana. He was one of my favorite action figures. I think I played with him until his little radar broke off of his head. I still played with him, actually. He just didn't have a radar atop of his Krang crown anymore. But yeah, it was one of my favorite action figures. I feel like this guy right here, I think he ties with him. I do wish we could have gotten a little door attachment to kind of give Krang some privacy there. I mean, unless in the cartoon, he's just kind of, not having a door between him and the outside world. If that's what he looks like in the cartoon, that's cool too. I don't mind that at all. Maybe the hatch there on his stomach was something that Playmates added. I love this guy, though. Of course, I've already attached his fist there on his right hand. So if you want him just going into a fist fight, you can have closed fists if you want to. Just a great action figure. I love all of the weaponry that he comes with. It's easy as pizza pie, I should say, to open up that stomach and pop him right in there. And he fits in there real well. He's not going to wobble around on you or anything like that. I like the tentacles that they've built into the stomach there. So you just attach the tentacles when you want to put Krang inside of his android body. I should Also mention that, of course, Krang was voiced by Pat Fraley in the 80s tune. If I haven't done that yet in the video, maybe I have. There was just so much stuff to cover, though. The voice I think of course, when I think of the voice of Krang, because Pat just, you know, he made Krang sound evil, but at the same time, really fun. Just an insane character, insanely intelligent character. He's always been one of my favorites just because of the amount of weaponry that he's come up with. And just, I think the android body for him is just such a cool concept. The idea that he can switch out his hands for, you know, various weapons and things like that. I cannot believe they packed him with so many various weapon accessories here. And I think that is what makes me want to rate this so high. I do wish my knee joint, left knee joint, was a bit tighter, but I don't think he's going to fall over on you or anything like that. Awesome action figure. Glad to finally get a Krang's Android body in the collection here. I think in terms of design, I think he came out great. He's just, you know, he reminds me, you know, of the Playmates version that I had, both the 12-inch and the 5-inch versions of him. Looks very similar with that pinhead of his, and he's even got the trunks on, the underwear, the diaper, whatever you want to call it. He's got the shoulder pads. He came out very well, I think. And in terms of figures I've gotten in 2024, if I did do a top 10 list, he would probably be in it. He's such a cool figure, and I love the interchangeable hands as well as the Krang that you can pop in and out of the stomach. I guess that'll do for this video, and I'll hear you guys in the next one.